Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Jess here, the owner of Gigi's Custom Dips, and I'm really excited to show you guys how to apply our jelly tips using our solid jelly tip glue. So I know a lot of you have been asking, and I finally got this video made. I had to completely remove my nails and start fresh, so hence why it took me so long. Because obviously I try not to take them off as often as possible. But you'll have to forgive my hands. They are dry AF, and I'm a hairdresser. I'm a mom of four. I literally never sit down. I'm either washing dishes or gardening or doing hair, working, making dips. It literally never stops. So do I moisturize my hands enough? No, I do not. And I probably never will. So just being honest here, but don't judge me. And since I've had my twinnies, as most of you know, I have twin 1-year-olds now. My hands have been so freaking swollen. I've never had like dainty little pretty hands, but let me tell you guys, the swollenness of these is not normal. So if you have any tips or tricks, please let me know, because I've been suffering with hand issues since being pregnant with those buggers. But anyways, back to the nails. So what I do, or what I'm doing here, is first of all, I make sure not to wash my hands or get my hands wet for at least a few hours beforehand. I have naturally very oily nail beds. So this is huge for me. I have to try to not use or get anything on my nails that will cause lifting. So like oils, soaps, anything like that. I really try to avoid and keep my hands dry if I'm planning on doing my nails. And then I, as you can see, do like a very gentle scuffing of my natural nail. Right now I'm just kind of like filing my cuticle off a little bit. I have really thick, dry cuticles, just like the rest of my hands. Super fun. So for me, I use my hand file. It's my favorite thing. I know a lot of people use their e-file, but I find it just does more damage to the nails. So this way I can kind of control it. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of giving my nail a scuff so that the jelly tip and the gel base and all that good stuff has something to grab onto. Because if your nail is smooth, it won't grab on and stay. So now I'm using isopropyl alcohol just to get off all the dirt, any type of oily residue that are on the nails already. And I'm just going to make sure to rub them real good and get off any oils or junk that is on there. So it also helps just dehydrate and will keep your nails lasting longer. So don't skip these steps, the scuff and the dehydrate and the clean. Very important for longevity of your tips. The prep is very, very key. So also, before all of this, I didn't video it. I used my cuticle tool and I got all the invisible cuticle off of each of my nails, which is what led me to have to use my file on my cuticles just to kind of file them down a little bit. I find nipping them just makes them grow back thicker, so that's what I do. Yeah. So now I'm going in with our gel primer. So our primer does need to be cured. I know some primers don't, but ours does. So I apply this very carefully to each nail, and then I cure it for 1 full minute. I know it doesn't really feel like it does much, but let me tell you, if you don't cure it, your nail will just peel off. So trust me, sis, and cure those nails. So I'm putting it in for 1 minute. And then we're going to apply gel base to each nail as well. So because the jelly tips are meant for longer shapes, so I shouldn't say are meant for, but essentially are longer nails. They all have a built-in apex, which is why putting some gel base on the nails first helps kind of just fill in that void. And then that way, when you use your solid glue, or if you're using gel base in your jelly tips, you can use a little bit less product, and it just helps with the adhesion. So that's why this step is important. So again, just like the primer, I'm going over each nail and really trying to keep it off of my skin. And I'm going to do a full minute cure. Again, just to remind you, the gel base is like the glue. For any type of gel, you have to use it as a base layer, or else gels can just peel right off your nails. So this is a really important step, not only for jelly tips, but for gel polishes as well. So here is the solid jelly tip glue. As you can see, it is solid. Now, I've had people message me when they receive their package saying, my glue, it's cured. No, it's literally solid. It is very much like putty. Like sticky tack, that blue stuff that you can like roll in your fingers. If I were to pick this up, I could create a little ball with it. You don't want to touch it with your fingers, especially if you're going to be applying it onto your nail, because it will take away, it will just add oils from your skin and then take away the adhesion factor. But just so that you can be aware of the actual texture of it, it is supposed to be hard. So as you saw with the thumb, I just use the very base of the tip to scoop some of that glue out, and you don't need much. And then I press it down onto the nail to ensure all the bubbles are gone. And because it is so solid, it's kind of amazing because it just stays there. So if any of you have used our gel base method before, which is applying them with gel base, which can also be done as well as builder gel, it is much trickier because you have to push and press and then remain holding it while curing it. So with this, it's almost like it's glued on before it's even cured, although I could just peel this and pop it off right now if I didn't like how it was sitting. So I'm making sure to keep it, a good amount away from the cuticle so it's not too close. You don't want to get hair snags. I will actually go in and blend these into my nail once I'm done applying them. But I'm just doing a 10-second flash cure here so that if I do bump it, the nail won't come off. As you can see, it's cured on there now. So please don't judge my fingers. I'm so insecure watching this with no nails on. I am a nail biter, which is where I started wearing nails. So if I even have them off, I am picking and biting. I'm a bad girl. Anyways, so yeah, as you can see, I'm going to take the bottom of the tip, scoop out some of that nail glue. And then I just use the jar to kind of like wipe off excess. Again, trying to avoid touching it with your skin as much as possible. And you can see how much I have on there. Now, I have pretty flat nail beds, so I do need a good amount to fill in that apex on the false nail. But as you can see, I just kind of like start by pressing at the cuticle and then slowly pushing up. And honestly, this is so easy. Like, these apply so easy. I think this took me 20 minutes. And I'm really like showing you guys, obviously I'm showing you guys, but I mean like I'm going slow because I'm trying to really show you guys all the angles and how I apply them. So, these I think are beginner friendly. They're super easy to use and they're super easy to apply. And what I love is with applying with the gel base, I do find sometimes I would end up with a crooked nail because it's hard to, line up the nail and then have the right amount of gel base and then press it down on that 45-degree angle, all while simultaneously using the jelly tip lamp. I found that sometimes I would end up with a crooked nail. So nothing a little filing can't fix, but I mean, after all this work, you want it to be perfect. So I'm just measuring which ones should go where. One thing to be noted, rookie move, but I did not want to refilm the whole video. So I will just tell you is right now, before just going straight from the box to your nail, you should, if you want them to last forever, literally not fall off, you should do a little scuff on the inside of the nail bed. Now they are pre-etched, but honestly, I find after 2 weeks, sometimes a nail will fall off on me. So if you give a little extra etching on the inside of the jelly tip, just with either your hand file or if you have a Dremel tool, that will help, just like with your nail bed, how you etched it up, that will just help it all grip and stay. And you will have to physically remove those tips. They will last forever. So little tip, I did not do that for these because I hadn't applied tips in a long time and I just blanked. I didn't do it. I don't know why, but I know I'm going to regret that in 2 weeks. So anyways, there's a little close up. I'm just trying to show you how close I'm applying to the cuticle. You do not want to put that lip in your cuticle line because you will get hair snags and it will bother you. So they are very snag free. But once you start dipping on top, of course, they get thicker, right? The more products you put on there. So if you keep them away from your cuticle, this way you won't have any of that buildup and you'll have more room to blend with your file into your nail bed for a very flush cuticle line. So that's very important. Don't go too close. I know you want to when you're freshly applying new tips. Oh, wrong finger. But don't do it. Just stay a little bit away from the cuticle. You need that space, trust me. So as you can see, you just start down, push up, and you can see like the product kind of squeezing up to the top of the nail. And I just make sure every bit of the nail is in contact with the glue and the tip, and then flash cure. So you don't have to flash cure after every single nail if you don't want to. If you do bump your hand and your nails aren't cured, obviously that tip is moving. So that's the reason I do it. Now for these last two, I do them at the same time. Sometimes I will do the whole hand and then cure it at the end if I'm feeling brave. It's really not that hard to kind of readjust your nail if you do bump it or knock it. But I mean, for being safe sake, you should give it a quick little flash cure so that you don't lose all your hard work. Anyways, so I'm just finding the right pinky size for me, and I do the same thing, get some jelly tip glue, and then push it down and line it all up. So as you can see, these are so easy, user-friendly. The shapes are beautiful, so you don't have to do all that work in the end. Dipping on top of these is a breeze. If you've seen any of my other videos, you will know that you barely even need to file or shape when you're using the jelly tips. It really just gives you that flawless shape that everybody's looking for. And it's done for you, which is just magical. So, and you can buy multiple shapes. So if you wanted to, you know, rock almond 1 week and then the next month do coffin and then rock some squares, you have that option, which is fun. Don't be like me. Change up your nail shape. Anywho, I'm just kind of adjusting, making sure everything's lining up, making sure they're all straight and even and ready for the final cure. So I just used, this is my cuticle tool. It's out of our nail manicure toolkit. That kind of rounded edge is for your cuticles, and then the pointy one, you can use it like the precision tool, or you can use it to scrape off, you know, the dead skin under your nails and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully this clears up some of the questions about the solid jelly tip glue for you guys. I know a lot of you have been asking. I know a lot of you love it, just like me. I recently changed our jelly tip starter kits to include the glue and no jelly tip light because, quite frankly, you don't need one. And that's kind of awesome to not have to have another tool or another light to have to do this. So right now I'm just blending in the tips to my nail beds. You don't have to do this. Some people it sits really flush for. I just do not like any type of a lip. I need them to be flush with my nails. So this is how I do it. I just go in on the cuticle line and blend in the base of the jelly tips to the base of my nail beds so that they are flush with the nails. And I use my fingers to actually feel. Can I feel that lip? If I do, I file a little bit more. Especially when dipping on top of these. I've mentioned it earlier, but they can get thick down there. You want to do the same thing when you're dipping. You want to try to avoid going too close to the cuticle or else you will regret it in the end, because it will get thick and you can get a lip. So one close dip to the cuticle and the rest stay at least a millimeter or two away for a good blend. Just a little extra love on my cuticles because they need it. They dry. I literally try everything, guys. Like I put on, I can't think of it now, but it's like a high strength cream. No matter what, my hands are dry. I think it's just my skin and my life and my hobbies. I never stop. So hopefully this video helped you guys and gave you a good overview how to apply the jelly tips with that solid glue. Hopefully it gave some of y'all the courage to give it a shot and to see that it's not as hard as it seems. It's actually quite easy. So this is how I get my professional looking nails, by gluing these suckers on and dipping on top. And you could do it too. So here's the final look after dipping. These are with two of our new fall colors. Be sure to check out our last video if you like this look. Thanks for being here.